So it's congruency. I mean, you're living the John Anthony lifestyle is what
Yep.
you're teaching. And I think that's a big deal in the Manosphere right now, because you are a voice against the frauds of the Manosphere.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to talk to you about now. So tell
Yep.
me about what you do and how you defend yourself and expose frauds in the Manosphere.
Yeah, so I take this game not like very seriously to the point of like, everything, like in a formal way. It's more of I devoted my life to optimizing this for better or worse. I really enjoyed the process. It was a lot of fun research, so to speak. But when you have all these guys coming onto the scene, I very quickly can spot when I watch one of their videos or how they're carrying themselves that they're full of shit, or most of these guys show no receipts. They show 0 pictures with girls. I made a video about kind of the ugly girlfriends and wives of these coaches, and some people thought that was tasteless, but you wouldn't go for make money advice to a guy that's homeless and showing his bank account that's got $100 in it and say, hey, now listen to how I can tell you how to make money, because he's not living that life. So when I made that video about the girlfriends and the wives, a lot of those dating gurus, girlfriends and wives, are objectively below average looking, right? Where a lot of guys would rate them like a 3 or a 4, for instance. And it's not like that's the only worth the woman has, but if the guy is a world-class dating guru, he should have at least an above-average looking girl, right? So for me personally, over the past 10 years, I've had as a standard for any girlfriend or main girl on the rotation that she has to be above a 9 looks. And she also has to meet a whole bunch of other criteria internally, but at least as a minimum, looks-wise, she should be above a 9. And these guys can't do that. And a lot of them actively preach that hot girls aren't even worth dating, and they're all terrible, and it's because they can't get hot girls, and they actively get snubbed by those girls. And then so what's happening is you have the vast majority, I feel, of these coaches that are not real experts pushing systems that don't work, pushing a lot of abstract theoretical nonsense, and it's causing guys to waste endless amounts of time, effort, and money. And some of these whole movements are just extremely toxic and counterproductive. Like, for instance, like the red pill stuff, it's teaching guys to be hateful and resentful and confrontational towards women. I talk to these guys on the phone every week, and they say, hey man, like in the pickup world, they're trying to get a strategy to get the girls, but they're just kind of getting put on a hamster wheel. And a lot of these, unfortunately, a lot of these companies are just trying to extract as much money as possible. And so I've kind of dug behind the scenes with a lot of these operations, and I've exposed the fact that they're purposely trying to mislead guys and purposely overwhelm and confuse them so that they come back to that company for more solutions, in quotes, which is more confusion and more problems for the upsells and for the other new products. And so I'm a huge, coming from a very shy, introverted place, I don't need the money in doing this coaching. I'm kind of on the side of all the little guys that are getting taken advantage of, because I was in their shoes. I was worse off than a lot of those guys, and I know the pain very, very real of what it's like to not be able to get girls and not think you have any kind of chance and that kind of stuff. And so when I talk to these guys on the phone, they're saying, hey, I went to the pickup strategy, it didn't help, because those guys just put them on the hamster wheel. Then they went to the red pill stuff, and now they're very confrontational and resentful against women. And then eventually they start blaming themselves. They turn to like the black pill stuff, and they say, hey, I'm not a model-looking guy, I'm not a Chad, therefore, there's no chance, and I can't get any of these girls. And I try to set the record straight that the vast majority of the equation is game. You should still, try to maximize your sexual market value. You should still work on what you bring to the table as a man. You should still work on your style and all this stuff, your hygiene. But you need to learn how to text. You need to learn how to do a cold approach, how to move things forward, how to carry yourself, this and that. And so I've uncovered at least like 50 different companies kind of being full of shit. I was one of the first guys to call out Fresh and Fit. They went from 0 subscribers to 400 something K in about 6 months. And I just saw right away, these guys don't know what they're talking about, dig behind the scenes. They're faking press releases, they're faking stats, and then kind of Aberrant Preach came along, a bigger channel, and started, putting a magnifying glass, and then the whole rest of the internet got behind them because they're a bigger channel. But I try to provide that with, not just with Fresh and Fit, but with all these other companies as well. And and a lot of these companies say, I'm worried about he's going to attack me. If they're not full of shit, I'm not going to attack them. I'm not just attacking guys. There's some misconceptions that I just do it to be a hater because I'm jealous or because they have bigger channels. But channel size doesn't correlate to the quality of the advice. A lot of the biggest channels, I know for a fact that guys are just full-blown scammers, or they don't have many real skills. They have very minimal skills in the game, but they have maybe almost 1 million subs in some cases. So Yeah, kind of to address your point, I think the average guy that's looking for help in this gets roped into all these bad paths of companies that are just trying to take advantage of him, and he doesn't know any better. And it's hard to make sense. There's no quality control in terms of who has legitimate information. People just kind of assume that they know what they're talking about because they have a following and they have a channel. And I used to think like that too back in the beginning. I would read some of these internet marketer newsletters, and just by virtue of them acting like they know what they're talking about, you just assume it's, you just take them on their word. But when you kind of go behind the scenes, what ends up being the case is that the vast majority of this stuff is very bad. So the common guy is like really up against a lot of opposition. He doesn't know what to do, and when he goes to look for help, there's a whole bunch of people that are trying to screw him over. And I feel like not many guys are willing, I don't really know any other guys that are willing to call these guys out by name and kind of in a very aggressive way like I do. And I kind of go scorched earth for anybody watching that's seen my videos. I get pretty angry and riled up when I'm making them. I get pretty, making the points emphatically, swearing a lot and this and that, because it's a fucked up thing to be, perpetuating all this pain in guys, and in lots of cases making it worse. And these guys are wasting their lives away following these fake gurus. So I feel like there's so many more guys that need to be addressed, but it's, and my channel is only, I've only got about 30K subs, so it's just starting to scratch the surface. But Anthony Johnson's been reposting a lot of my more popular ones, and people are starting to realize that a lot of these heroes that they had are kind of full of hot air, but it's refreshing, because I see in the comments guys will be saying like, "Hey man, you're really healing a lot of stuff, healing a lot of damage. I was really down on myself. I was suicidal. I was very depressed. I was ready to give up, and you're really like shining a lot of truth here." And my message is twofold. It's a lot of the guys that you're going to for advice, that's a big mistake, and they're not real experts. And by the way, there's a real system that you can learn very quickly, and you don't need months or years. You just need to be plugged into the optimized set of moves and set of mindsets and stuff like that, and the results will come in a matter of like a week or two.
So when you do this exposure, we'll call it, you're actually helping guys.
Yeah.
You're kind of pulling them out of that hamster.
Yeah, and I take a lot of backlash for it. I get death threats over email. I get false copyright strikes and different attacks on my channel. I've been down to like 2 strikes a few different times where I've had to like kind of damage control and private a lot of the more controversial videos until the 90 days clears with the strikes. And so I'm risking my channel, risking lawsuits potentially. I'm trying not to ever say slander. I'm just basing stuff based on real facts. But these guys try to protect their scam operations, and so they'll come in, and what we've uncovered is people are just mass putting slander about me on Reddit, and their Modern Life Dating is an example where he went and made 3 2-hour-long videos with massive slander. So I have an active lawsuit against him for defamation. But I've taken hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damages to the business this year just because of all the backlash that comes with taking these guys head on. And so that's kind of like the collateral damage of all this that I just have to kind of eat personally. And all the, when I attacked Fresh and Fit for about 6 months, everyone was saying, you're a hater, you're a fucking clout chaser, this and that. And then they all came back and said, oh, you were right. This video aged like fine wine. So people kind of changed their tune. But people are just going with mainstream opinion anyways. They're not listening to rational arguments too much. They just see, oh, this is entertaining and this and that, so I'm going to buy into that. But yeah, it's not an easy road to travel. And also I've made a lot of enemies and stuff like that. And a lot of these companies, they're pretty big operations, and I'm taking money out of their pockets. I've tried to organize class action lawsuits in some cases where these guys have really scammed on a massive scale, and still here.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I mean, you're persistent in what you do. So I want to go back now to 21 and ask you, again, it's your first time here, and how do men benefit from 21 convention, as you can see, as a new speaker?
Yeah, what's really cool is there's just a whole diverse set of opinions. Like I have my whole set of views on dating, but there's a lot of different guys from different walks of life, fitness guys, psychologists. Everybody brings something different to the table. And what I really like is there's not any kind of bias or judgment. It's just an open platform. And Anthony says that best himself. He says, I'm just giving guys a platform to get out their message. We're not saying he's right and this guy's wrong, or this guy's message is more important, or this or that. It's kind of everybody's kind of on an equal playing field, and then it's up to the viewer to listen to what people have to say and see how it jives with their own personal philosophies and what makes sense and what they can garnish from that. So I like that it's a diverse set of kind of opinions rather than a biased narrative, because I think, you know, there's too much of like this single narrative, like with the news, with people are just exposed to like, here's the message, here's how things are. So when you have an open platform event like this, it's great for everybody to network as well, but you're getting a lot of diverse messages out into the you know, the ethos there, and it's really putting out a lot of opinions that might not have been popular but have good arguments behind them, and then these videos become very popular, and then so it's a great way to get your message out without having to play the political game and this and that.
Okay. But now, as a speaker and a first time here, what did you get from 21 yourself?